Wanna play?
Wanna play? Wanna play? Wanna play? Wanna play?
Wanna play?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wanna Play. My name is James McKenna, and today we're going to be taking another comment request. And that comment request comes from this comment right here. And what they want to see is my opinion on the top 10 best leading men in horror. Now, I've done 2 lists of the top 10 greatest final girls in horror, and why not make a trilogy out of it and do a list on the top 10 greatest male protagonists in horror? So, I looked at the comment, I was like, alright, cool, I'll do that for my next viewer requested video. So, here we are, counting down the top 10 greatest leading men in horror history. Honorable mention, Norman Bates, because he was the killer, but he also wasn't. But he was, but then the movies were like, no, he wasn't. But then some of the movies he was, but then others it was his mother, but then others... It's weird, because Norman Bates is the protagonist and antagonist at the exact same time, so I can't really include him on this list, but he is a massive honorable mention. So with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Kicking off the list at number 10 is going to be Danny Torrance from The Shining. Possibly the greatest kid character in horror history, and probably the smartest kid character in horror history. He's only 5 years old at the time that The Shining was being filmed, and his character age is 5 and 6 as well. And the fact that he was able to outsmart his crazy dad in berserker rage mode, chasing him through a maze full of snow, that the fact that he realized that his tracks were the reason that Jack is coming towards him, and that he buried him and then jumped behind the fence and then actually managed to make his crazy evil dad freeze to death. The fact that he was that smart at that young of an age, he has to make the list. At number 9 is going to be Bert Gummer from Tremors. Now, this originally was going to be Dr. Loomis from Halloween, but as I was literally filming this, I was thinking to myself, wait a sec, Bert Gummer's not on this list, so sorry, Dr. Loomis. It's Bert Gummer, because Bert Gummer is the best part. To be honest, he might be the sole reason why those later Tremor movies are so good. I mean, like, Tremors 3, 4, and 5, they're great movies because of Bert Gummer. Like, if Bert Gummer wasn't in 3, 4, and 5, they wouldn't be worth anything, because a lot of their plot points, a lot of stuff is just really similar. The prequel thing in 4 didn't really work, but it's just Bert Gummer and just how much fun of a character and how awesome and hilarious his moments and dialogue and just how great he is. And then of course 6 and 7, him being just amazing, again carrying those movies, but just carrying them to a whole extra level because of the experience that he's now had playing his character so many times. He's just such a great character. It blows my mind that he wasn't on the original draft for this list, but I'm glad that I thought of him when I did, because he absolutely belongs on this list at number 9. At number 8 is going to be Paul Sheldon from Misery, another person who just went through so much and still somehow managed to be smart enough to get Annie Wilkes. Just all the smart stuff that he did in the movie, whether it was bench pressing the typewriter or putting the pills into Annie's drink, and that's a depressing scene when he puts the pills in Annie's drink that he's been saving for like days on end, and then she spills it. That really gets to you, and it just goes to show how good and compelling of a character he actually is. And then in the final fight scene, after getting both of his feet nearly knocked off, going through so much, nearly getting lit on fire, burned, just going through all this hell, the fact that he still managed to squabble with Annie Wilkes and bash her face in with the typewriter. Amazing character. He's got to be on the list. At number 7 is going to be Sergeant Howie from The Wicker Man. Just his sheer determination to find out what's going on and the truth and all just the weirdness behind everything happening on Summer Isle is just so cool to see. Like, every character in this movie is just such a good character, and it's one that just because of just how good of a character he is, he's got to make the list. I mean, like, the mystery and how it all unfolds and how the reveal in the end, how that all happens, and him up in the statue begging for his life, praying, is just such a classic moment. All of his scenes with Christopher Lee and him dressed up in like the parade that they have, just doing everything he can to figure out what's going on, what happened to this missing girl Rowan, why is everybody just giving him a completely different story. He's such a great character, and another one that I think belongs on the list. At number 6 is going to be Van Helsing from Dracula, a person who studied Dracula his entire life and tried as much as he can to convince everybody like Dracula's real, he's out there, he's feeding on people. Nobody believed him, but they were all terribly wrong. And Abraham Van Helsing made it his mission to track down Count Dracula, track down all these vampires, and do anything he can to stop Count Dracula, and just all the cool creative ways that he does it, pulling out the mirror, pulling out the cross, everything about Van Helsing, and just how, again, how smart of a character he is, just like some of the other characters already mentioned on this list. He's got to be on the list. I mean, come on, he's Abraham Van Helsing. At number 5 is going to be John Nada from They Live. It's Rowdy Roddy Piper, isn't it? He's delivering wrestling promo lines. Mama Don't Like Tattletales, of course, the absolute classic.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
And just generally teaming up with Frank and mowing down all of these aliens at every chance he gets. He mows them all down. He goes deep into their lair, finds all of them, just kills everybody. He goes through buildings, shooting all of the aliens. He does not care what the normal people see and the normal people think, and at the very end, taking them on head on at the top of the roof, shooting Holly, shooting the big giant satellite at the top. And again, it's Roddy Piper spitting wrestling promo lines. How can he not make the list? At number 4, you knew that this guy was going to be on here, and you knew that he was going to be on here high up, and that's going to be R.J. McCready from The Thing. Another character who's just so smart and faces the movie's big villain head on without any fear, any doubt. He takes this challenge, he takes charge, he takes the lead, he comes up with the smartest ways to defeat the Thing and challenge it. Of course, the classic blood test scene came from his mind. Being one of the 2 survivors, of course, with Childs, who, hey, was Frank and They Live, what do you know? He's just so awesome, taking a flamethrower to the Thing, shooting it, burning it. He's just the best. Pretty much anybody who's seen The Thing knows why he's on the list, and nobody can really argue it. At number 3, we've got Reggie from the Phantasm series. Not just from one movie, but if I had to pick a couple, I guess, 2 through 5, because 1, he's really just an ice cream man and he doesn't really do much. Like, he has a couple cool lines, but from 2 through 5, just his arc of just how he becomes more and more badass of a crazy action hero, to by 5, he's like the main character in the entire franchise, hunting down the tall man, hunting down the minions. He's got a quad barrel shotgun. He gets into all these crazy fights, crazy adventures, trying to stop the tall man and his goons at all costs, and just having the craziest time with his friend Mike and his weird orb friend Jody. There's just so much going on in those Phantasm movies, but Reggie is consistently a great character, a funny character, just one of the coolest characters there ever was in my mind. A character who started off as an ice cream man and ended off as a badass, crazy, awesome action hero. He's got to make the list. At number 2 is going to be Dutch from Predator. Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of the most, if not the most believable protagonist for the film's antagonist. I mean, to be honest, if I was a betting man and the Predator was real and, well, Arnold Schwarzenegger is real, but if Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Predator actually came face to face in real life, I'd probably bet on Arnold Schwarzenegger to win. He just is so powerful in that movie, surviving the Predator, coming up and discovering all of his weaknesses, and not even defeating the Predator, just making the Predator self-destruct after he can't even find him, covering his face full of mud and dirt to avoid the heat sensors of the Predator. He's just such an awesome character, and probably the biggest reason that every single sequel after sucked is because he wasn't in it, and he, along with the Predator, was the best part. It's mind-boggling to me how bad those sequels are when the original is it's so simple. Predator, Schwarzenegger, jungle, done. That's why Predators was okay, because it had the Predator in the jungle, but it could have been way better if Arnold Schwarzenegger came back. But his character of Dutch is just so good. Despite him even only being in one movie, he's got to come in at number 2. But at number 1, it's got to be Ash, doesn't it? Ash is really the only horror protagonist that you'll see on posters of these horror icons. You'll have Jason on the poster, Freddy, Michael Myers, you'll have Dracula and Frankenstein, and the shark from Jaws, and Jack Torrance, and Leatherface, and Pinhead, and the whole squad will be in there. But you never see any Deadites. It's always Ash, and that's because he's just the coolest character. I mean, like, come on. He's Ash. He has the best lines, he has the best weapons, he has just everything about Ash, whether it's Evil Dead Ash, to Evil Dead 2, crazy psycho, laughing with clocks on the wall Ash, to old school Western action hero fighting skeleton armies Ash, and winning. He beat an entire skeleton army. All the iconic lines, groovy, this is my boomstick, just everything. Give me some sugar, baby. Absolute icon of horror. It's a really simple, really predictable pick for number 1, but there's a reason for that. It's because he is number 1. Thank you for watching my ranking on the top 10 leading men in all of horror. I probably have enough to do another list of 20 more of the best leading men in horror, so if you want to see that, let me know in the comments. But until then, thank you for watching this video. You can subscribe to this channel if you would like to, and you can also follow me on TikTok at JamesFromWannaPlay1 to get extra content, shorter content, but I do some rankings over there. I do videos where I go through some of my controversial opinions over there. I just recently did a little DVD collection video over there, so if you're interested in that stuff, check out my TikTok page, and you can also follow me on Instagram at JamesFromWannaPlay. So thank you for watching this video. Goodbye, and good night. Bang.